Well, Tennessee had the dark mode on Saturday night, and they were a little delayed getting off the bus. Now, the better team got the win, and that guy did it again. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. What a finish for Tennessee. Still at number 7 in the country, now 7-1. We'll talk about the goods, the bads, and the uglies next on the Food City Locker Room, presented by Garza Law. This is the Players Show. So you're already getting on me because I said good, bad, and ugly, and 2 of those were negative. We haven't even started.
Well, you said it. You started it. You said bad and ugly and good. 2 of those are negative. 1 is positive.
So
Am I lying, Chris?
The open plays, and Swain's already complaining. We haven't even started. Now, you said before we started, by the way, Mark Packer, along with Chris Brown and Jayson Swain, you said you had some things to say. Are you going to say them, or are you going to be nice now that we're on this show?
Well, I'm nice all the time, Mark.
Oh, okay.
Number 1, Tennessee won the football game.
Yeah.
We did get started slow.
Yeah.
But I think this is who we are. I mean, we've been kind of holding out hope, like, all right, Tennessee gets going in the first half. Once Tennessee gets going in the first half, maybe this is the game. Maybe this is the game. It's been 4 or 5 games in a row. Like, this is the team that we have. We have a team right now offensively that starts slow.
So, okay, I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to do this, okay? Every week for those of us, okay, here goes. For those of us who were here in 1998, just hang on, follow me. There were 4 or 5 games where it looked like they were going to lose that game. Syracuse, you don't get a pass interference call, you lose that game. Arkansas, you had the game lost until Clint Sterner fumbles the football. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying this team wins a national championship, but there are times where winning ugly is still winning.
I think they're winning ugly, but it's not those plays like that. Like, the team isn't down, they're not doing a bunch of different things. The defense is really good. The defense can hold people, and I think the offense is playing on it. You look at what the offense did. Those guys make some plays. That score is much different. You make 2 out of 3 of those field goals, the game is much different.
Sure.
So a lot of things happened that held us back, but there are also a lot of positive plays, and there are a lot of things that you make catches, you do stuff, you make critical plays in critical moments like Coach Hype always talks about.
Love that guy.
This game is out of hand early. Shout out to the tight ends. Kitzelman, 6 catches, 97 yards.
Winning early is okay if you continue to do it week in and week out. But we understand if you're going to beat the top team in the country, which we feel like Georgia is, or Oregon, having one half of football where you don't put points on the board or don't play well enough offensively, it's hard to do that on the road and win. So that's why we are saying, and everyone is saying, okay, we have to start a little bit better offensively. Now, we did score a touchdown in the first half, but Josh Heupel said it, Nico has said it, there's some plays left out there in the football field that we have to get better at making. That's just facts.
Here's the
deal. That's okay.
You watched Tennessee against that Kentucky team, and you kept asking yourself why you watched it. Which Kentucky team are we watching? Are we watching the one that almost beat Georgia that had them beat? Are we watching the one that beat Ole Miss, who, by the way, just scored again against an Arkansas team we couldn't figure out what to do? So I'm saying you better understand in the SEC that parity is alive and well, whether it's Vanderbilt.
The parity is always going to be there. Obviously, Vandy's doing their thing. Parity is huge this year. We have Mississippi State coming in here this week. They're playing better football. Kentucky played hard until you knocked them out, and I think scoring early, making those field goals, not settling for field goals, and really pushing to score points. We would have saw Kentucky digress, but give them credit. They had to put another quarterback in there. They moved the ball, but you have to give the defense credit where credit's due.
I think Kentucky was expecting to get slapped early and get smacked early, and we didn't smack them early.
Had a chance.
And because we didn't smack them early, they had hope, and they started making plays and started believing. And they started believing until we got a comfortable lead in the second half, and, hey, we won the game. But I think with those guys out, they had 12 guys out for this game. Warm-ups, they didn't seem to have a lot of energy, a lot of juice. I think they was expecting to get beat down, but when they had the big play early in the game, that gave those guys confidence.
Here's the thing. You mentioned Oregon and Georgia, number 1 and number 2. You know you're going to get your shot at number 2. You know you're going to get that shot. You might get your chance against the other team as well.
Yeah, I think you know in a couple weeks what you have going into it. Again, this week's very important. I think when you're playing a Mississippi State team that you know you're better than, you know that you need to play well going into a couple weeks down at Georgia, you have to do it. And I think that's very, very, very important to happen. We have to find receivers. They have to connect more. There's a lot of things that we're continuing to work on, but you found a way to win the game, which ultimately that's what matters.
I mean, at this point of the season, it's not just about skating by and winning the game. It's about playing your best. It's about you versus you, and you playing up to your expectations and your ability to put yourself in position to get to the college football playoff. And right now, we are not doing that. It's great to win, don't get me wrong, but you're still leaving it up to decision makers whether or not you're going to get to the college football playoff, and that's an unsettling feeling when your destiny is in someone else's hands.
These games need to have style points, right? Like when you're playing to get to Kentucky, that's down. When you're playing to get to Mississippi State team, that's down. You need to go out and perform. You need to go out and look like a team that has a very strong defense, and you have an offense that can kind of back it up. That's what they want to see. You're putting everything in jeopardy going into a game a couple weeks that could possibly be a win, possibly be a loss, but you don't want that. You want to control what you can control and go out there and beat the teams the way you're supposed to beat them.
That boy Nico Iamaleava, boy, he had his best day of the season.
He was putting some balls where they needed to be.
Man, he was on fire.
Yeah.
He had his best game of the season last night.
What's that say about the receivers?
I was about to say,
Nico had his best game of the season, boys.
I tried to bait him.
Is this where you rip on your position
I tried to
group?
bait him.
Nico was on fire, guys. Nico was great. Didn't y'all see Nico out
It's
there?
like Bill Belichick up here.
He was balling. Nico was balling.
Yes, we saw Nico out there. Okay, Mr. Wide Receiver,
Ballin'.
what are you talking? Hang on. Let's have the talk. What are you saying in your position group meetings this week? And you're not far off because you're in the next room in the tight end room, so you don't get off the easy
I was a blocker.
either.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
What are the conversations?
Everything under the sun, everything in the book and outside the book. Get outside, catch jugs, go get better. I mean, our group was holding this offense back, quite frankly. I mean, there were some opportunities to score multiple touchdowns and we didn't catch the ball. That's our job, to catch the ball. Not to run block, not to look pretty, not to put on fancy wristbands, not to run fast and look great. Our job is to catch the ball. If you're not catching the ball, you're not doing your job. If you're not doing your job, you shouldn't be in the game.
And you're getting fired up about this, but seriously though, as a receiver going into a game that we know we're going to have in a couple weeks, how do you get your mentality back? How do you maintain that? Obviously, you need to play at a high level, but you've had some drops in critical moments. What do you do to get your mentality back and make sure you're catching the ball?
You practice making tough catches. If you're sitting in front of the jug machine and you're catching the ball, just hitting you right in the chest, hitting you right in the numbers, that's not realistic.
By
in
the
the
way,
game.
I get interrupted right here. Kitzelman right there. Hang on. Kitzelman right there with the ball. You know, he got drilled in the end zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I sat up in the stands with a bunch of fans who had a drink or seven, and to hear the fans yell, "You got to make that catch!"
Very tough catch.
You make that catch,
I'm
drunk
like,
dude.
his head is on the ground. He got
He got rocked.
decapitated over
He got
here.
rocked.
Definitely got rocked.
That would have been a tough catch. I mean, he would look at that on film and
say, I need to make that
I need
catch.
to make that catch, but that's a tough catch.
I thought those fireworks might have hit a few of those fans. I was sitting around right square in the noggin. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll shift the focus to the defense. And we've also got a guy who is a pretty key contributor to Saturday's game against Kentucky. That's when we come back in the Food City Locker Room, presented by Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza Law firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza Law firm.
The Garza Law firm. Let us help.
was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
Okay, so before we venture over to the defensive side, I do want to ask how we felt about the offensive line.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line played well. I mean, they gave up a couple plays. I think John Campbell had a holding call early. But overall, I thought they played well. I thought there was a couple times where you could see plays develop, and I think they did a good job protecting Nico. Nico can bail you out with his arm, and I think we saw Nico doing that. Swain said it earlier. Nico had his best game of throwing the ball, but when you have elite talent back there, it doesn't take much time, and I think we got to see some of those throws the other night.
They were better. They have been better the last couple of games, and that's what you want. You want to see those guys continue to build week in and week out. I think they've done that. John Campbell obviously is hurt, and he battled to fight through pain and injury. He did a really good job of doing that. Obviously, you don't want the penalties. I thought we had too many of those, but I thought the offensive line played better. Anytime you have a running back that's able to rush the football for over 140-plus yards, and you bring in a true freshman running back, and he's able to have success too, I think that speaks to the offensive line play.
Yeah, by the way, Peyton Lewis in studio, one of those running backs for Tennessee who got in there, and we'll let him give some love to the offensive line, because if he doesn't, they aren't going to block for him anymore. Okay, keys for Tennessee against Kentucky. Guys, what stands out to you?
Obviously, Nico played well. 74% completion right there is very good.
Clear.
I mean, obviously, you want to do that. Defense played well. When you can get 3 turnovers and kind of have those splash plays, it is phenomenal. I mean, those guys really play well, and obviously you see D-Samp just continues to be D-Samp and continues to do his thing, Swain.
What stands out to me is Nico's completion percentage at 74%.
That means they caught the ball.
He was dialed in, exactly. It would have been over 80%. He would have had over 300 yards and multiple touchdowns.
How were the receivers, Swain?
If we would have caught the ball a little bit better. But, Tennessee defense, I mean, they created turnovers, but I think they would probably not be too happy about the first possession by Kentucky's offense. They probably want to be a little bit better and not allowing Kentucky to run the football the way they did. But Nico's numbers stand out to me.
By the way, Chris, hey, a little fist bump here. We've done a nice job pulling it out of Swain. He said he wasn't going after his position group, but he's getting riled up down there.
No, I'm fine.
So let's switch to the defense now. The defense was bending but not breaking. They had a little help, had an injury at the quarterback position, but that was because of the way Tennessee was playing so tough.
I think Tennessee played really well. Early in the game, I thought Mike Stoops made a mistake on that first drive by not going for a field goal and taking the points and kind of settling that place down. I think that really got our defense going. You see Will Brooks there, a play that he knows he can make, but our defense played well, and I think our offense kind of, when we don't make those plays, we know we have a defense that's going to get the ball back for them.
Best stop rate in the country. I mean, when it comes to the red zone, Tennessee's defense just does not give up points, and that was another example of that. Stoops wants to be aggressive, wants to go for it, and they were unsuccessful.
By the way, there's something about Will Brooks. I swear he always seems to find himself in the right place. I mean, obviously that guy knows what to do too, but I'm saying Will Brooks always seems to be figuring it out, doesn't he?
I think we had him in studio a couple weeks ago. I think those guys depend on him, and he said he enjoys that. He enjoys being the guy that can kind of get people around, but, I mean, shout out to him, man. He caught that ball and was riding out.
Yeah, he read the route. I mean, that's
We'll eventually show it. We've talked about it for about a minute. Here it is. Nope, it's the next play.
It's not.
Next play. Maybe it's this one.
No, it's not. But he read the play. That's film study. That's understanding your keys. That's being instinctive. That's Will Brooks. He does a really good job of that.
So this defense, let me ask you this. I don't want to look past Mississippi State. Okay, fine. They're horrible. Let's look past them to Georgia. Is this team defensively good enough to shut down, there's our play, to shut down Georgia?
No, I don't think they're good enough to shut them down, but I do think they're good enough to create turnovers to get the ball back to the offense. Obviously, we know what Georgia's going to do defensively, but Carson Beck has turned the ball over when you've pressed him. And
Georgia's been mortal.
Yeah, I mean, it's been hit or miss, and they've gotten the ball running them a lot as well.
If Tennessee's offense was more consistent in the first half and better, then we probably have a better outlook and better answer for you. But you can't expect the defense to continue to bail you out time after time, especially in the first half if the offense is not moving the football versus a top 2 team in Georgia. They're good. They have really great players. And Carson Beck has not played great over the last couple of games, but you can't expect Tennessee's defense to just shut out Georgia, a team full of 5 stars and 4 stars.
It's such a different year with the 12-team playoff because they keep showing these percentages. Tennessee with a win over Kentucky's at 67% to make the playoff. You keep looking, and I'm going to keep saying, Vanderbilt changes things. That game at Vanderbilt just changes things. It's not what it's been.
It's not what it's been at all. And again, you want to take care of business and beat the teams that you can. I mean, Kentucky was an opportunity. Mississippi State's about to be an opportunity. Obviously, Vandy's going to be tough going there and playing there. They'll be up for that game, and they've played really well all year. But you go there, you win that game on the road. That's a statement win this year for what you have going on with parity in college football.
I think it's how you win, too. I mean, if you don't win against Georgia and you beat Vanderbilt, your best 2 wins will be against Alabama and Vanderbilt. Everyone else that we have beaten, they have fallen off. Oklahoma's fallen off. NC State has fallen off. So you got to beat teams the way you're supposed to beat teams.
I hate that everybody acts like the Georgia game is a loss because I understand that. All conversations are about that. I get it. Now, Tennessee can win that game, but to your point, if you're going to lose that game, it's got to be respectable.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come out and you got to play hard. I mean, it has to be a game. You have 5-star guys as well. I think they have a lot more depth with 5 stars, but we have guys as well that if we come out, if things are clicking and we can hit those passes, we'll be in the game with the defense that we have.
You have to do something that you haven't been good at doing in the last 3 or 4 years, and that is win on the road at night versus a really good opponent in a hostile environment. You got to do that.
All right, so let's bring Peyton Lewis in, running back Tennessee. Had him a nice game the other night. I guess, Peyton, first off, the question for you is what's that mentality inside the locker room? What are those conversations being had amongst the players about what it takes to get in the playoff or achieve what you're trying to achieve? What are those conversations?
I would just say that a lot of it consists of, like the next play mentality.
Okay.
And then just going out there with the mindset that, like, we're just going to do, like each of us, we're going to do our job. We're going to be explosive at it. And I think when we each focus on our individual job, then I feel like that's when, we play our best game. And I still don't think our best game has been played yet, but the mentality is always, it's this game. We're not focused about any other game, in the future because, like, this is happening right now, so we're all just locked in on this game.
Peyton, coming in early, you came in January, and obviously you came in, you inserted yourself into that room. You have a new running backs coach, and you have a guy like D. Sam and some guys that have been here for a while. What's it like when you came in to be able to learn the offense and come up to speed and then be able to insert yourself in a big game like Kentucky and just play really well and understand all the schemes and concepts that was thrown your way?
I would say when I first got here in January, it was definitely confusing to me. It was kind of like drinking water through a fire hose. And it was definitely confusing, but having someone like Samp or any of the other guys like Bishop or Cam Selden, Khalifa, they're always there to help me out if I have any form of confusion, or maybe we're out there on the field and he's like, hey, maybe you should implement this into your game, maybe do this, do that. Or in the meeting, he's like, hey, look at this, pay attention to this. Just making sure I'm straight, and that's definitely helped me out for sure. And
Sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break right here. Swain, when you go over there, don't be jealous of his hair, okay?
We both are.
Don't be jealous.
That's all right.
The Food City Player Perspective when we come back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop.
Where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Come on, we got a rooster replay.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Sterl, you ready to go to the top?
Man, I
can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make your smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Training. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Training to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
When you have one of the best players in the country at his position, it's always really interesting to know why you picked Tennessee when you could go anywhere else in the country. So tell us, man, why did you pick Tennessee?
Yeah, of course. You know, I went to some other places, and, you know, they each got their bells and whistles, you know. But I think for me, Tennessee, it was like from the very first time I went there, the atmosphere was just different. It kind of felt like back home. So that definitely appealed to me. But also, it was just like the coaching staff, like everybody, like the real like definition of Southern hospitality, you know. Everybody wants to meet you, greet you, you know, hug, open the door for you. And I know it sounds like some little stuff, but I mean, I feel like that goes a long way. And it definitely helped me make my decision. So just being around like Knoxville, like the downtown area, or just anywhere like, you know, near the river or somewhere outdoors, that kind of just, that appealed to me. So that's really the reason why I picked Tennessee.
Who appealed to you growing up watching NFL football, watching college football? I mean, there's guys that you know, try to pattern your game after. They're role models to you. Did you have any of those guys growing up playing a running back position? Who were those?
Yeah, I would definitely say my dad put me on to Earl Campbell early on. Yeah, old running back. But I think it was just how physical he was, and you know, his mindset that like I'm gonna run through you this play, or you know, it's just he was just the top dog all the time. So I think that too, and I was never really biased towards like a specific school or a specific team, and I don't watch as much of it right now, you know, any more than I did back then. So I think I just love football as it is, and you know, it's played in different forms. So I think I just enjoy it how it is.
When you're a top player in the country and you go to a place like Tennessee or any place in the SEC, you're gonna have that freshman moment, like, oh, yo, this is different. This is not like high school.
Yeah.
What was that freshman moment like you? Was it a specific play? Was it a whole day? Was it a moment? What stood out to you that let you know that, oh yeah, this is definitely different than high school?
I think for me, it was my first couple of games when we played Chattanooga. It's just the speed of everything, and especially with Tennessee's tempo. You know, it's definitely way different than how I used to play football back in high school, and also playing against NC State back when they were a top 25 team. That was definitely different for me. A couple of times got banged up or there was a big hit. So I just think those are probably the moments just before, you know, I really started getting better at playing running back. You know, it was those early moments that really set it for me.
Peyton Lewis got his first touchdown last night. Won't be his last touchdown, Mark.
Hey, by the way, we're going to start doing something. You know, the big promotion at the stadium's Get Neyland Loud, the Neyland Effect. It does go to support Zakai's Assist with Exterior Home Solutions. So I'm going to throw this over. Hope Swain can catch it.
Oh, look at that.
He made the catch.
Without looking.
And that is for Peyton. And that is
handoff.
Get
Nico
Neyland Loud.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We got to work on those touchdown celebrations, though, right?
By the way.
Well, yeah.
Dylan got all of them, man. We got to work on yours a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
You got plenty more to get, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. Plenty more.
Hey, to interrupt the conversation. Okay, so here, below, if you want to get your Get Neyland Loud shirt, you can get your own. Scan the code right there. Part of the proceeds will go to benefits of Kai's Assist. Get Nealon Loud now. Raise the roof for basketball. Locker Room continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marcos' role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hi, I'm David Ball, National Sales Manager here at Legend Fitness. Legend Fitness has been built on longevity and quality. Our racks are fully welded and has the least amount of bolts in the industry, made to stand up to the test of time. Because at Legend Fitness, we deliver quality and we want our customers to be Legend strong.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center in Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank. Life made better.
Is brought to you by Garza Law.
Keys to victory. Let's start with Chris, Mississippi State, Tennessee.
I'll keep it positive about the receivers. Keep Nico's confidence up. Try to throw the ball downfield. Another shot at Swain. Just keep his confidence up. Keep throwing the ball to him. Hopefully they can make some plays. Field goal improvements. Obviously that's a tough thing for a guy who misses something. Make sure his mind stays right. And then just start fast and limit turnovers and penalties. We need to make sure we control what we can control. I'm sorry, Swain.
Jason.
It's all good, man. Hey. Mine's simple. You got to catch the ball. I think you got to help your quarterback. I mean, when you have a freshman quarterback, we had one in 2004. It's about everyone else doing their job to the best of their abilities. And you got the running backs playing well, tight ends playing well, defense playing well. You need to help your quarterback. So I think it's important for guys to catch the ball. We got to do a better job of kicking field goals and making field goals. We started off the season really, really good, but we've obviously taking a step back. We got to get back to that and then reduce penalties. Simple
I love that. One last shot. You're giving him a hard time, and then he says, catch the ball. Mine is get off the bus and have a pulse in this one, and you win. We'll see you next week. By the way, the next time we talk, we'll be talking about the Georgia game on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law. We'll see you next week.